Welcome to another episode of Land Rats. This week we're installing the engine. I hope you're ready because there's a lot to do. Let's go. Now that we're back in the workshop, out of our little rat nest, it's time to tell you what we did this week. If you remember correctly, there used to be an engine over there. Now it's inside the boat. We're taking out this old diesel Yanmar. We're putting that in soon.
As you can see, the engine's been sitting outside since we stripped it out, which is about, how long is it now? About 2-3 years.
While we were pulling it up, we weren't sure if the bars at the top were gonna last, so I had to put my weight on top of it to make sure if it breaks, it doesn't fall too far. The engine a bit. Probably we'll see if we're gonna bit more than we did last time. See if we're gonna take some of this rust off and maybe paint the brackets down here. Draining the oil, and we're quickly gonna remove the oil filter. As soon as my dad's ready there with his special tools.
Special tools are falling apart, one of the bolts are missing. Get it out of the ring now. Doesn't look like it's a old prop engine now.
Might have been serviced not long ago.
Yeah,
Or not used a lot since it was serviced last.
just standing for 5 years since it last ran. The motor looks clean inside. If you look inside, it's quite clean, not grimy. That's a good sign.
You clean it up a bit with the grinder there,
Yeah.
Toppie.
And you just paint it nicely, so
Looks a
rust.
bit better. Today we've been cleaning these brackets. You could see we've also there was some rust spots around here and just everywhere in general, which we now cleaned up with this rust converter. And then as soon as that dries up tomorrow, we'll be painting it with the heat resistant paint to make this look like a brand new engine.
installed the motor now. Now we must do the adjustment. The adjustment seemed to have we've moved the engine mountings around, so the adjustment onto the prop shaft is not right. So we'll have to get a seal on the prop shaft so it's a square and right seal. I can't see from the top, so what we'll have to do is we'll have to get this back panel out so I can have a look at the top. Now we've taken that panel out now. So at the bottom there, we've got to line the flange up with the coupler on the shaft. So we've got to get that sorted out now. Gonna move it up and down and see if we can get that spacing right. Just checking with a feeler gauge, yeah. So at this side here, it's got a gap here, this side. This side is a gap. So that says to me that this whole thing is standing like this. So I've got to move I can't move the shaft, so I've got to move the motor slightly that side. I hear somebody working in the back. Maybe they're stealing the motor. Who's that? Ah, Tommy is doing some work. Huh? What are you doing, Tommy?
I'm tightening these mountings for the engine.
Okay. It's quite handy with a spanner, eh?
You'd think, but I'm fucking messing it up.
The gap here is right tight against there, all the way around. All the gap is tight there at the bottom there. It's tight. It's tight, yeah. So now I'm just gonna do this bolt so we can see if it actually the holes lined up with the holes inside here. It should line up, but let's just check it. This is a coupling between the flange on the gearbox and the flange on the drive shaft, on the prop shaft. This is a plastic shaft that takes up any vibrations and stuff. But you see, this is also, you see there's a hole that's been ripped through there. This link looks a bit bad. And on the other side you can see this is right through here, that it's meshed through like that.
Guess we have to call Yanmar.
Yeah, and this one also, you can see this one also looks like it's got some damage there. I don't want to take a chance on the water stuck here, and then if we get a vibration on the shaft and then bend something in the back or damage the rear water seal and start taking on water. I think rather, let's see how expensive this is, otherwise I'll have to get this machined. Motor's bolted down steady as it can be. We're just waiting for the new alternator, the welding alternator. So once we get that and we've installed that, we've done the electrics and stuff, then we can start it and see if the new alternator will weld. We're fitting a 24 volt inverter system on, so we're going to run a 24 volt alternator to charge the batteries if the solar panels are not charging, and then we've got a spare alternator that is actually a welder that we can change. If we need something to weld it, we can put the other alternator on and weld with that alternator, but we'll try and show you next time. Sleepy. Tired. Long day's work.
Dinner time and then back at it. Researching dinghies out, Toppie.